It's training camp season. Today we're looking at the Colts and we're looking at the quarterback battle between Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. We're going to watch them work through some drills and throw the rock around. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're looking at practice. We're looking at training camp. We're looking at what your favorite players are doing on the field from your favorite teams. We're also looking at your rookies, those camp battles. And guys, you're drafting in fantasy football here soon. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're not going anywhere. We're here every day. We're looking at the camp battle of America here. The quarterback battle of America. Anthony Richardson versus Daniel Jones. We're going to loop this and keep talking ball. Let's watch these clips real quick. Here we are. There's Anthony Richardson right there. Daniel Jones, the other quarterbacks. There's Anthony Richardson coming out on the field here. Looking at the play sheet. One important note. And we knew this coming in. We had a good idea even prior to that. We knew Anthony Richardson was going to be throwing the ball. Anthony Richardson, the arm looks like it's back. We're going to see how much back with these clips. That is something we're paying attention to. Quick little chuck there. There's Danny Dimes. Flipping it. It's Anthony Richardson. We're back. We're back. Downfield. Where'd those go? Where'd those go? My eyes got mixed up on both of them. Who's the next one? Hitting her man. Pittman. There's them and the other quarterbacks. We got Riley Leonard back there. Riley Leonard's going to be an interesting prospect here to pay attention to on the back end of this depth chart throughout training camp. This is a hot battle. I'll definitely say one thing. Reading tea leaves from the beat writers. One beat writer said that Anthony Richardson got the most snaps with the ones. Another beat writer said that Daniel Jones got the most snaps with the ones. And both of them are from today. But both of them did stay after they stated their fact. Call that a fact. Which one of them's the fact? That they're going to work them in evenly throughout training camp with this quarterback battle. Both of them said that. They're on the money on a lot of these throws. We are. There's going to be a tight quarterback battle. That shoulder injury sustained during minicamp and OTAs for Anthony Richardson. That's the one from earlier. Like, you got the bobble. It looks like an overthrow. There's another one. There we go. See Josh Downs in the background. There's Richardson right there. Throwing it. Makes it look easy. He had to be back. That was my main take. It's just when he comes back. When will he come back? He needs the opportunity to fight for the job. He needs to be there for all of training camp. He can't miss too much. If he misses some, he can't miss too much of it. He needs to be back. And a 50-50 split supposedly from the coaching staff coming up throughout this training camp process while they figure out who the guy is. He's back. He's back. That's more than what we saw his last few practices of minicamp. With the towel in hand, taking mental reps. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. You got Danny Dimes back there, competing with him. And now we're at the point we need competition. You need competition. Like, I know we need time to develop. We need to develop. But you got to put the feet to the fire, too. Like, we saw some instances throughout his career where he made some big plays. We also had some bad plays throughout his career. We've had some injuries. Took ourselves out of a game. We got to put our feet to the fire, and we got to really start developing. The thing is, you're working out all off season. There's a chance that he does. Kicks it into gear. And if that happens and Anthony Richardson gives you a new gear this season, this team's got enough around it where it has a chance to get into the playoffs. As I look at that, it has a chance to get into the playoffs. Like, you're Studley at running back. You're deep at wide receiver. Like, you're 4 deep pretty much at wide receiver. You got Josh Downs. You got Pittman. You got Alec Pierce. And you also got A.D. Mitchell, who's a wide receiver prospect that could blossom into much, 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 much more than what you saw last year. If you go to, I think it's Fantasy Points, they got a spreadsheet, a application that goes with separation per route ran, and he was one of the top rookies last year. limited sample size compared to the other rookies, but still, he was creating separation while he was on the field. That is something to pay attention to. And Anthony Richardson, he's got the mobility, he's got the arm. He has all the God-given talent. It just all has to materialize. At Florida, did not have that longevity of pass attempts, years under his belt. Still inexperienced, needs those opportunities. But now you look at Daniel Jones. We're coming back from a Giants season where it didn't go too hot. The year prior, we tore our ACL. We're ramping up from that. Prior to that, though, we weren't looking bad. We weren't that bad. If we revert back to that with the pieces you have here with the Colts, I'm Jonathan Taylor. If you check it down to him, he's got green in front of him. There's a large gain to House in it. It just is. He's very explosive. He's got the size. He's got good vision. And then you're looking at Josh Downs. When he's healthy on the field, he's very dependable. Michael Pittman was dealing with a back injury all last year, playing through it. That impacted him. What if we revert back to what we were prior? There's a lot of what ifs, but it is like that with almost all teams. But who can capitalize on as many what ifs as possible to backdoor yourselves into the playoffs? But the what ifs here with the Colts, I mean, you got a good wide receiver depth chart that's very sneaky here. Because A.D. Mitchell's got 4.3 speed. Alec Pierce has proven to get those deep balls. Anthony Richardson can throw deep balls downfield like no other. Also can take off with it. What if we develop? But if not, you got Daniel Jones at the Giants with New York. There was times he was like one of the top quarterbacks. I think top 5, top 10 range. Pulling back in my middle Rolodex here. In air yards. Pushing it downfield. Average depth of target. Average depth of pass attempt. Like, there were times throughout his career he would push it downfield. Some of that's scenario-based, but he likes to be aggressive with it downfield with the football. You have the wide receivers to do that, and you can also go through your reads. You got Josh Downs open. You got Michael Pittman. Downfield, you got Alec Pierce, A.D. Mitchell. A.D. Mitchell, if you're getting upgraded play by these quarterbacks, and A.D. Mitchell starts to blossom into his potential, Jonathan Taylor stays healthy, the rest of the wide receivers stay healthy, this team could be more competitive, could be nastier than what you think. That's the thing about this. Who do you think is going to win the job, though, between these two quarterbacks? Because right now, the coaching staff is telling us by what they're saying, splitting the workload up, and they're saying, hey, we're going to split this up 50-50, that it's 50-50. That's what they're saying. And we're early. We just started training camp. We need time and opportunity for these guys to fail. We need that. And for them to show themselves. We also need time and opportunity for these guys to succeed and prove themselves. We're probably going to know more once we get more 11-on-11s, the joint practices, everything else. But really, this is a preview to what's to come here with Colts. There's a lot here. There's a lot to this team. There's a lot of upside for these quarterbacks. Fantasy, real life, all of it. Like, if Danny Dimes wins the job, he's a cheap week-to-week quarterback depending on the format. Anthony Richardson wins the job, potentially be a QB1 in fantasy due to the rushing production. Whoever wins the job, you got to hope that they play well and that they're distributing the rock to these wide receivers and there's talent around them. It's a very sneaky team. Even after Jonathan Taylor, you got Herbert, and you got Giddens, one of my favorite running backs in this year's class. This is a very sneaky quarterback situation that we got to pay attention to. Both of them. Like, one reverting back to what he was, and one taking a step forward, and how big of a step forward while he's developing. We're paying attention to that like a hawk throughout training camp, and that's the story. Who's going to win this job? Who's getting it? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.